New England Patriots are now on the clock.
With the third pick, the New England Patriots select Christian Gonzalez.
Intercepted.
Kyle Duggar.
Ramondre Stevenson.
Christian Barmore.
Ball is loose.
Michael Owenu.
James White out of Wisconsin.
Quarterback Tom Brady.
Rob Gronkowski.
This is the greatest moment of my life, man. This is unbelievable.
This Patriots All Access Draft Special is brought to you by your New England Toyota dealer, your all-wheel drive headquarters.
Nearly 24 hours from now, the Patriots draft room will be filled with their decision makers as the new regime leads the most impactful draft in more than 3 decades. Hello, everyone, and welcome to Patriots All Access, presented by Geico. I'm Steve Burton, coming to you live from the GPHM here at Gillette Stadium, where tomorrow night this place is going to be absolutely jam-packed with fans for the 2024 NFL Draft. What's it going to be? Will they take a franchise quarterback, or will they trade down and stockpile draft picks? Those questions will be answered on tonight's show. But to kick things off, Jerod sets the table for the franchise and what they've done so far this offseason to get to this spot.
In 24 hours, this draft room will be filled as the Patriots participate in their most anticipated draft in 31 years. But first, the Patriots have continued their roster reshaping under the guidance of Director of Scouting, Elliot Wolf.
Holds on, throws into the end zone. Pass intercepted by Duggar.
On defense, Kyle Duggar was re-signed to a new 4-year deal with a guarantee of $32.5 million. While on offense, not a flashy signing, but the Pats signed free agent wideout KJ Osborne to a 1-year deal. Meanwhile, the newcomers and returning Patriot players have come back for workouts and OTAs.
Yeah, it's great to be back. You know, it was awesome to see a lot of new faces, obviously some returning faces, and just to get the year started.
These workouts are important to the players, but also the new head coach.
During the offseason program, you can kind of get a good gauge of the toughness of your team. And so many people would say, you know, how do you do that? Because it's pretty easy, no pads. But really, the first thing you notice about toughness of your team is really in the weight room and how those guys compete in the weight room, how those guys continue to lift weights even though they're tired, how they continue to run down the field even though they're tired. And that's where you really try to build that camaraderie.
With the third pick in the 20.
And now we're on to the NFL Draft. Will the Patriots stay at number 3 overall, where they own the highest pick in the Robert Kraft ownership era?
When you look at the playoff teams, I mean, they all have good quarterbacks. When you look at the Final Four teams, they all have really good, elite quarterbacks. So I don't think you're really going anywhere unless you have one of those guys. And so, we'll determine if there's one in this draft and if it's somebody that fits with us.
But will they actually take a quarterback? Both Wolf and Jerod Mayo have said they have to be convinced the quarterback has to be the right one for this Patriots franchise. And if not, will they trade down? We'll finally have that answer in just over 24 hours. For Patriots All Access, I'm Dan Roach.
Coming up on All Access,
we go one-on-one with Patriots Director of Scouting, Elliot Wolf.
Picking at 3, there's only 2 players that are going to go off the board before us, so we're able to work through all the scenarios.
you're watching Patriots All Access.
Brought to you by Cross Insurance, the official insurance broker of the New England Patriots. By Bank of America, official bank of the New England Patriots.
Welcome back to Patriots All Access. Time to sit down and talk to Elliot Wolf. 24 hours from now, you're going to be on the clock. How are you feeling? How's the organization feeling?
I think we're ready to go. We're well prepared. We've talked to a lot of people. We've watched a lot of film. We have all our information, working the phones, dealing with the coaches. It's been good. It's been a good process for us.
You know where you pick. You sit there at 3 as of right now. Do you think at this point, 24 hours ahead of the draft, that you have to have a consensus as to what you guys want to do at that spot sitting there at number 3?
I think we do. It's been good so far. And, picking at 3, there's only 2 players that are going to go off the board before us, so we're able to work through all the scenarios, other than the trades that might pop up while we're on the clock.
Obviously, you're human. You hear a lot of the talk about quarterbacks out there. When you're picking a quarterback, is that position different than other positions as to we all have to be on the same page when we pick this guy?
Yeah, it's an important, potentially franchise-changing decision, for the organization. So it's definitely something that we weigh heavily, and it's the most important position in pro sports, as is well documented.
I was on vacation last week, heard your press conference, thought you did a fantastic job. You stated that we are open for business, not only at pick 3, but all the rounds. How would you gauge the level of interest, especially at pick 3, as time is expired?
Yeah, we've received calls on our first several picks from a couple different teams. Nothing too serious yet, but it sounds like there's some teams that may be more motivated. If you listen to the whispers out there, that we might hear some more things once we're on the clock.
Whispers will probably get louder as we get into tomorrow.
Into roars.
So, and then say things don't really pick up, but then boom, you're on the clock. That's really where the pressure starts, right?
Exactly. So that's why we've worked through these scenarios with Jerod and Matt Groh and the scouting staff, and just kind of trying to be prepared for anything that might come our way.
There's a lot of people that feel, the draft experts, that the draft starts with you. Chicago, we think Caleb Williams is going to go number 1. Other things can happen. Do you have a pretty good feel as to what Washington wants to do at 2? I know they said they want to sit still, but do you have a pretty good feeling as to who they're going to take?
I don't have a great feeling. Again, there's whispers out there, but things can always change last minute. So, we just try to control what we can control and go through all the scenarios for us, and as they make sense for our franchise.
You'll love this because we keep going back to comments that you made on the record, but going back to another comment in February, looking at this draft, you feel there's the ability to really weaponize the offense with picks that you have here coming up tomorrow.
Absolutely. It's not just the first round. I know that's all the focus
Friday,
now.
sorry.
Yeah, exactly. It's not just the first round. It's a deep draft at a lot of the skill positions, and we feel like we can supplement our roster, in a lot of ways this weekend.
You've been around the league a long time. Players, we sit here, I interview players, they talk about, the game's coming. I got butterflies. Do you get butterflies?
I don't have them yet. Maybe I will. This is my first time, in this chair. But with the support that we've established around me, with Jerod and the scouting staff, I feel confident that we'll be able to do the right thing for the Patriots.
Hey, Elliot, good luck tomorrow night.
All right, thanks a lot.
All right, there you go. There's Elliot Wolf. More Patriots All Access. We'll return right after this.
Patriots select Drew Bledsoe, quarterback, Washington State University. Now there's Drew Bledsoe, young man from Washington State.
It was the first trip that our family of 4 ever took on an airplane together, was to fly to New York City for the draft. So it was like the Waltons go to New York City, right? Like small town people from the Northwest.
I think we selected a player that's going to be able to make a significant contribution to our team, and I think eventually he'll be a guy that can really do a good job for us at the quarterback position.
To have somebody tell you that you're going to be the first pick in the NFL draft is an extremely exciting situation.
This was the culmination of a dream that seemed pretty surreal until it actually happened.
31 years ago, I know someone who remembers that all so well, our quarterback, Scott Zolak.
Yeah.
And Take us back in time.
Well, take me back in time. He took me right to the bench again. Like, I mean, how about the shirt, the red shirt? That was an American Eagle shirt. I remember feeling it. It was like felt.
And now
that's one of the ugliest shirts ever.
These guys come out with $1 million suits on right now, right?
That's what's happened. You draft somebody from Walla Walla. He rode his motorcycle out here with his dad. That's how bad it was.
All right, let's talk about, you're going to go through the quarterbacks.
Yeah, we're going to go through them, man.
And let's talk about the unlikely one.
Yeah.
Right? Jaden Daniels.
Okay, well, Caleb Williams is off the board. Right. He's going to the Bears. I think you look at the journey for a guy like Jaden Daniels. Played a lot of football, Steve. I like the fact that he went to Arizona State, didn't like the situation there, found a better one at LSU. Now we'll start with the positives for Jaden Daniels. I think he is the most dynamic quarterback in this draft. He wasn't anywhere on my radar, not on a lot of people's radar. Kind of quiet a year, 2 years ago at LSU. Then he progressively got better and better. Won the Heisman Trophy. We know the story. I think he's dangerous with his legs. 3rd and 4. Good luck trying to cover this guy. You got to play zone, can't play man, because he'll pop you like Lamar. But 208 pounds wet. 17-game regular season. Still going to get through the preseason games. Believe it or not, we're still going to play those. That's a long year for these kids, and you know the beating it takes.
Next up, Drake May.
Drake May. Okay, we've been talking about Drake May for a long time, right? And you've been down to Carolina. It is the prettiest setting, that Carolina blue, that white uniform. It is unbelievable. I played the old ACC, so I love playing down at Chapel.
So he looks sweet.
Yeah, so let's get to the positives with this kid. Cookie cutter, quarterback factory kid. This is the way they stamp him out. You go to quarterback factory, this is what you want with the big red bow on Christmas morning. He's got the stature. We know the family history, the competitive nature of it. But he's young. And I think he gets rattled on 3rd down. I don't think he's ready yet. I think he's raw, and we're a team that's desperate for starters and players.
Let's head to the Midwest. Michigan, J.J. McCarthy.
How can you not know about J.J. McCarthy if you follow Michigan football? Now, the problem is it's John Harbaugh. Going back to John Harbaugh when he was with Stanford. Andrew Luck played in a boring offense. So I turned off a lot of this kid's games because Michigan was a wagon. They played from out in front. He threw 8 times against Penn State. Did they win the Penn State game? Yeah. Why is that a bad thing? He only threw 8 times. Positives about this kid. Leader, winner. I think he has the best footwork and mechanics out of any of the quarterbacks in the draft. Played a lot of games under center, which means he's pro ready.
Michael Penix.
Michael Penix. This one I've been waiting to get to because I think I've watched the most football of Michael Penix playing football because I think he is the best thrower in the draft, the best pure spinner of the football. I'm a big fan of his. He's a lefty. He came back from 2 knee surgeries, fought to get back, played at a high level, extremely high level. You look at the production. I know he had Azunier out there, great receivers, but 2 knee surgeries.
Okay, here's my butt. I'm going to put you on the clock.
Yep.
You have to take a quarterback.
Yep.
Who are you taking?
If my job's up for grabs right now and I got to go win football games, I'm taking the most pro-ready guy. That's J.J. McCarthy.
Who will the Patriots take?
They're going to take probably Drake May, and that could be a problem.
Good stuff.
That's where we're at.
All right.
I love the draft. I like all these guys.
I love it too, and finally it's here. We have a round table coming up right after this break. Stay with us. You're watching Patriots All Access right here on WBZ.
By Bank of America, official bank of the New England Patriots. By Toyota's official website for deals, buyatoyota.com.
We got some great news to share with you tonight. WBZ has committed to continue as a station for the Patriots programming, extending our partnership with the Patriots through the 2030 season. Yeah, we're the only place to see Patriots preseason games, all access, game day in the 5th quarter. Hope the schedule makers give us a lot of Pats games going on in the future. All right, joining us now on our roundtable, Mike Reese and Paul Perillo. Good to see you guys. I'm going to put you on the spot right now. Do the Patriots trade down, or do they stay at 3?
I think they stay at 3, Mike. I think there are a lot of different possibilities that we've heard. We've talked about, getting someone to give them the bag, as Jerod Mayo said. I don't think someone's going to be willing to do that for the third quarterback available. I think if maybe they were a spot higher, in Washington spot at 2, I think the chances would be greater. I think they stay put.
The latest intelligence that I have on this is that no offer has come to their desk that has made them motivated to move the pick. So as of now, they stick, but still 24 hours to go, Steve, for that to change.
Should they stay at 3?
I think they should. I think they need to come away with a quarterback, and I think at 3, that's the best quarterback available that you have. Is the, obviously you can't control 1 and 2, but you won't want to go further down and get the 4th or 5th best quarterback. Settle for the third best.
What if some big names become available, though?
Gotta come out of this with a quarterback, Steve, is my thought. Don't overcomplicate it. It's right there for you.
Okay. So after that, let's go to round 2. Who do they take? Do they take a tackle? Do they take a weapon? A wide receiver? You got your quarterback. Do you need protection?
Give him a name.
Yeah, no, I think that you come up with the 2 positions, Steve. And one other wild card I'll throw into this is if you want to use some of this capital here to go get a veteran guy, a T. Higgins or a Brandon Ayuk, I'd be certainly in favor of that. Long shot, though. So I'm going to say Troy Franklin, 6'2", a little bit of on the thin side, about 180, but out of Oregon, absolute speedster. I think this is a guy that can get vertical out of the slot, Mike. I think he's more of that Z-type receiver, like Brandon Cooks, maybe back in the day. I think he could be a very productive guy.
So he gives you a receiver in the 2nd round. Steve, I'm going to give you an offensive tackle more in the 3rd round just to cover our bases here. Patrick Paul out of Houston, 6'7", 331 pounds. So he looks good coming off the bus. I'm thinking of Sebastian Vollmer, late 2nd round pick in 2009, worked out pretty well out of the same school. And you look at a draft analyst from Dane Brugler from The Athletic, said he compares similarly to Chuks Okorafor, who the Patriots signed as a free agent. So I thought that all paired together.
Already here. I need a weapon. I need a weapon.
Yeah.
You got to give me a weapon. I got to get a weapon.
Troy Franklin's a weapon. I'm telling you.
Okay.
And I'm not against 2.
And this is
a
deep wide receiver group.
2nd and 3rd round wide receiver, Steve. I'm with you.
Okay. So give me a name who the Patriots going to draft.
I'm going to go the UNH running back, more of a pass catcher, Dylan Laube. He's just incredibly productive. A little on the undersized, but kind of like Danny Woodhead back in the day. But Kenneth Gainwell is a running back from Philadelphia who had a lot of receiving skills coming out. I think he can be sort of a guy that you can throw in the slot. And like I said, unbelievable production as a receiver.
Trying to find a needle in a haystack, Steve. Like, give me a guy they're going to draft.
Give me a guy. Give me a name.
Travis Glover of Georgia State, an offensive tackle. And here's what I'm thinking. You get my
Travis Danny Glover or Travis Glover?
You get my theme tonight, Steve. Protection. You got to build the line. I gave you 2 offensive tackles on our draft preview show because I think that's so important.
You guys are so informed.
Steve,
don't forget Dylan Laube. Don't forget.
All right. I like that. A little more than 24 hours to the NFL draft. We got you covered from start to finish. It's going to be a great night. That's going to do it for this edition of Patriots All Access. Thank you all for joining us. Round 1 of the draft gets underway 8 o'clock tomorrow night in Detroit. Dan Roach will be there, and his reports start at 5 o'clock here on WBZ. Join us Sunday night for the Patriots draft recap at 11:35. Thank you all for being with us tonight. I'm Steve Burton for Mike Reese and Paul Burrell. See you later.